Here we are on the other side of the street. Due to security concerns, most of the old entrances are not used anymore. It's almost for the good. I'll sit on the steps and talk to you about how you go about becoming a lawless place with no one the wiser, except maybe a few people that you have to put away, render irrelevant. We got law buildings up and down this street. There's another street that also has them. Which lawyers are part of this evil system, you just can't immediately tell. But the judges give themselves away. Judge who's a magistrate who doesn't let you testify as the defendant, that's one that has to be removed. You don't re-educate someone who's been on the bench for long enough that they should know everyone gets to testify as the defendant. The plaintiff, if a person, gets to testify too. That judge was Aldana Jones. 3 times I said that the defendant, of course, gets to testify. 3 times she said, I already asked you 3 questions. Yeah, while for the plaintiff's case, I get to testify in my own defense, showing that the plaintiff misled the court, but she didn't want to be shown. But this is bigger than that. They're killing a woman, a wonderful woman, Henny Carlisle, Antoinette Henriette Carlisle. They're killing her with the assistance of her thug of a son who was not allowed to stay with her, who did not have a key to her house. I had the key for myself, front door and back door, and I had Miss Henny Carlisle's keys because I'm the one that was the caregiver. I took her to the hospital. I took her even though she was covered in diarrhea because the doctor wouldn't clean her. The doctor got away with it. The hospital said that wasn't done when we were in our hospital. Well, it was actually. For 30 minutes she continued to be covered in diarrhea in their hospital because the doctor lied. He said that nurses were waiting. Yeah, waiting for nothing but anything but us. They refused to get any nurses when we were downstairs. I did get a slip of paper and retracted the DNR that the doctor used the diarrhea to make her say anything, and she said yes to do not resuscitate me. She didn't mean it. She wants to fight, but the doctor got her to say it, and he jumped a jig when she said it. I heard her as though it was something, just so wonderful for him. It was almost as though he got a bonus from the cult of elder cleansers that he belongs to, that a goodly number of the hospital employees clearly are protecting and are part of the cult of killing the elderly through bad medical, intentionally bad medical treatment. Mr. Trump, this is to you. You're blocked off. You won't even see any sign of this until a month later, and the lady will be long dead. I've got to find a way, Mr. Trump, to wake up America. Wake up, America, because this county is cancer-driven. It's got a cancer in it, and it's killing the elderly that get cancer by pretending to heal them while giving them inferior treatment. This woman is in a coma. She wasn't allowed to have a morphine drip and say goodbye to her friends. I've been cut off from her for over a month now, trying to get the system to work. Well, for over a month, Mr. Trump, your corrupt field agents in Greenville have done nothing other than set her up with her own open file with her being a victim. But she was a kidnapped victim as of March 15th. No, April 15th. As of April 15th, she said it clearly that she was under coercion and that she was making the statement that she did to satisfy the coercers, which were the hospital employees and the doctors, and her son and daughter-in-law are part of it. Yeah, her very own eldest son. elder son. I do believe the other son is aware of what the elder son's doing and does not object. They, in fact, left her jaundiced with no appointment to see the doctor. Well, I got that appointment as soon as I got a hold of the nurse the next day, and we immediately got chemo, despite the fact the nurse said we had to wait 10 more days. We did not wait it, but they weren't happy with that. And they won't give her another chemo, even though the first chemo was successful. They've come up with false reasons that it might kill her. Of course it might kill her, but you don't not do chemo because some people die from it. She's now in a deep coma. She may already be dead. Wayne County killed her. The entire county is apathetic or part of it. The newspaper, it's either just stupid or it should be shut down as part of it, part of the conspiracy. The hospital, definitely, there's a major part of the administration that's part of it. The oncology floor, probably a good proportion of the nurses there are aware of what's going on and have joined the conspiracy. The people that got to see Mrs. Carlisle had to be sworn to secrecy, that she had to stay secluded. Some of her close adopted family members were allowed to see her, but they weren't allowed to talk to me, the main person trying to protect her. Why should I not know what's going on? Because they'll kill her before I even know it. Well, she's still in the coma. She'll probably be dead within 3, 4, 5 days. Mr. President, if I don't get this to you, if you don't wake up, if you don't get your advisors to tear down that wall, you got a wall around you, Mr. President, tear down that wall. Like the Berlin Wall, except it's keeping America unsafe. And I know you don't want that. You've got to have an emergency entrance to you so that when required, when all the levels up to you have failed, that you will do what we know you'll do. And you will, when you find out, you will tear down this corruption in this town, person by person, and scare the rest of them senseless, where they will retire and get the heck out of the public eye and out of harming, killing, and robbing the public. The public wants them gone. The majority of the people here in Wayne County don't know what's going on. Mr. President, act quickly and save Henny Carlisle. Call me. I don't want to put the phone number, but I'll say this. You can find it simply by looking at the page that you get to, Bryant Kittrell, Kittrell at Facebook. You'll find a couple ways to reach me. Kinmapper@gmail, KINMAPPER@gmail. I'll respond as quickly as I can to wherever you send me. The police know where I live. They arrested me, false arrest me. Excuse me, the sheriffs did that. The police allowed a man to use a crowbar, the evil son, to break me out of the place I lived for 16 years. It's called crowbar eviction. It's a very normal term here in Goldsboro. If the police says you can use a crowbar, by God, you can use a crowbar. I want that police officer and his superiors to go to jail unless they can get off from a fair trial. Mr. President, act, save the lady. She survived the Nazis. Can she survive your ability to hide from urgent emergency situations, and the same ability for every level going up to you, except for the judge, who explicitly said she's not doing anything, despite the fact the lady was the only witness in the case that was before her. She said that's nothing to do with the case. Huh? That judge should be investigated, interviewed by the FBI for about 30 hours. There's something suspicious about that attitude. She's got to explain it. Come out with a legal way for her to intentionally violate 18 U.S.C. 4, a law that has been a law in that form or a slightly more complicated form since 1790. George Washington was president for just over a year when it got signed into being. Let's protect America, not the elite. Bring down the corrupt elite. Mr. President, go. Get it done. Protect Mrs. Carlisle first.